Hey traders, TG Watkins here with simplertrading.com. And if you guys need more information about me, you can come over and check out profitpilot.com. That's where you can find me and the Moxie indicator and the alert service and all that kind of stuff. So thanks again for tuning in to the Moxie Minutes on StockCharts.com. Let's dive into the market. The indexes just keep going up, which is really pretty crazy. I was looking for some fireworks during the FOMC. I did not expect them to keep going up, so that's pretty amazing. Tesla is going crazy also, so good stuff out there. And then even the cryptos and crypto miners are going really, really well. So I'll be showing you some of that and how some of the trades work out. And then also I'll be showing you about the trampoline setup. This is one of the best setups I have for the Moxie indicator and my kind of trading. Got a bunch of examples for you for that. And then also we'll be talking about the precious metals and the gold miners, a couple names like that. So let's dive into it. All right, so we begin here at the S&P, and you can see that we have just been going up and up and up, which is, I think, surprising a lot of people, but hopefully you're on the right side of the trade. We've been taking advantage of this. When I was thinking that the market was going to pull back something around here, and it just wasn't, we kept seeing a lot of good setups. And so, as much as it seems a little bit nerve-wracking to have the market up so high and kind of waiting for that inevitable pullback, there are a lot of setups up there. So we just started taking some trades. It's been a pretty good week so far. I'm excited to see what next week holds. One thing I have been looking at and trying to wonder is, what are we going to do about this pullback situation? I keep looking at price needing to come back down to the daily 50 eventually, whenever that's going to happen. And I've been looking around, and there is a section of the S&P that does kind of stick out to me as far as what might happen in the future as far as a pullback. And it's over here around April. And what you can see is that price got really high. It's up there at that third ATR, very, very overbought. And instead of just coming right back down, because obviously it was a strong market, and I think the market's pretty strong right now too, what it did is it then went sideways for a while. You can see that. And then it did finally pull back. And you know what? It pulled back for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. And then what did it do? It actually hit the daily 50 right there. So that is eventually what I'm looking for. As I said, I'm astonished that it hasn't even happened yet. We haven't even touched the daily 21, which is pretty astonishing too. So we're kind of in the same situation, I think, as back here, because you can see that it didn't touch the daily 21 for quite some time. And then it went sideways, and then it finally came down and tested the daily 50. So we might be in that kind of scenario where, whenever the market kind of backs off a little bit, it may not come down. It might go sideways and then eventually down. So just trying to lay out a possible path of what's going on out there. If we look at the NASDAQ, it's basically the same story. It's extremely high. It got even higher after the FOMC, and just not much else to say about this except it's really, really overbought, and I'm curious to see how it's going to work that off. Then if we come over to the IWM, same deal, same situation. Now, I will say for the IWM, if we go here and we look at, say, the monthly and the weekly, this has been pretty nice. I've been talking about this for quite some time, to where if you look at this on the weekly chart, the 8 has been over the 21 the entire time. So fast moving average over the slow moving average is bullish. That's definitely definition of an uptrend. And it did have some dips and whatever, but you can see it also stayed above the weekly 50, and now we are definitely breaking out. So basically everything is on board. The IWM is on board, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, everything is firing on all cylinders. And the fact that the IWM and the small caps are also now working is fantastic, because that means that there should be pretty good tailwinds for us. The kind of stocks I like to trade tend to hang out in the IWM, or at least in that area. And so I'm thrilled to be seeing that the IWM has woken up again. And that should bode well going into the end of the year and hopefully into the beginning of 2022. Talking about the new year already. All right, so then if we come over here, I do want to show you guys the UVXY and more actually the VIX. So oops, nope, that's not going to work. Well, I guess we'll go back to the UVXY. Not too much to see here. Well, if you actually look at the VIX itself, on the daily chart, what it is doing is showing you a bit of an elf shoe. There's actually a double bottom on the VIX. For the UVXY, it's gone lower, but what I do see is some possible divergence. So price has gone down, Moxie indicator staying up, It is one thing to note that the UVXY and the VIX did go up today along with the market. So it again is getting to a point at which it's getting a little bit overextended to the downside. And we should start watching this to maybe help give us a little bit of a clue as to when the market might back off or pull back or something like that. Where it was kind of flirting through here about going up, you can see it just rolled over and went down. So that's the kind of stuff, in order for the market to go up, that's the kind of stuff we need. I was on high alert in through here, seeing if that was going to do anything. And then once it basically broke down right here and then started its downtrend, it's like, okay, guess we're going up. And so that's where a lot of our positions were doing pretty well. All right, so let's go talk about, so Ethereum's having a great time up here. I did want to show you the trampoline move on the hourly chart. So you can see here, price was below the hourly 50, but you can see that the Moxie indicator was above 0. So this is a really good situation. These are the kind of trades that I look for. We can scan for them on Thinkorswim. We're still working on getting scans for StockCharts, but that is amazing when this happens, because what it's telling you is that the indicator is positive. The indicator is still above 0. It's bullish. It wants to go higher, and then but price took a dip. And so it's kind of it's a setup. Price does not want to be down when the indicator is up. It's like trying to push a beach ball underneath water and then you let it shoot back up. Or it's just like a trampoline. You jump on the trampoline and it shoots you back up. So that's kind of why I coined it a trampoline move. You can see the same setup here on the daily chart. You can see price was below the daily 50, but the Moxie indicator was above 0. This is the kind of thing that if you have the Moxie indicator, it helps give you some guide rails. It helps kind of tell you, no, you're okay. This is just a dip. It's a buyable dip, because energy and momentum is still up. It's still positive. That's what it's trying to communicate to you by being above 0. And even though price went down and went down pretty hard, it's really just a buyable dip. And so those are the things that you look for in trampoline moves. After that, it's been holding the hourly 50 very, very well. So again, got a little overbought. It's way up here. I like this thing. Ethereum, Bitcoin itself is just kind of going sideways. But if we look at Ethereum, I mean, this thing is a great looking chart. I mean, it's great. We're making new all-time highs. We've had support all the way back here and here. It has been following the monthly 10. Everything is great. So this kind of thing, there will be pullbacks. Pullbacks should be buyable, but basically, the crypto space is doing pretty well. So let me show you a couple more tickers that we are in. We've been trading, and we are doing quite well with them. I'll start with HIVE, because something to see about this is there's a lot of volume that's been coming into this. Notice for the last 3 weeks, lots of volume. And if you notice here on the weekly time frame, you see price has been holding the weekly 8 just wonderfully. And then we're starting to get price to come up. I mean, you can see here price has moved right into a flag of the monthly 10. So this is a gorgeous looking chart. And if we come over here to HIVE and we go to the daily and the hourly, I want to show you a couple things in through here, because we got this on a trampoline move. So again, I love the trampoline setup. There were a couple. So one right back here, you can see price was below the hourly 50, but notice that the Moxie indicator was above 0, trampoline move. And then in through here, you can see price went below the hourly 50, but the Moxie indicator was above 0, another trampoline move. So what's fun about this is with the indicator, you can see this stuff coming and you can be prepared for it. So I was watching HIVE for quite some time and just waited because in through here was a little overbought. You can see like that was overbought, and you just wait for price to pull back and you kind of see what it's going to do. And then sure enough, when it comes down here and gives you a trampoline move and a double bottom right there, you go in, you give it a shot, you see what happens. And this thing has been popping up ever since. So again, volume here on the daily chart, you can see it's been just a lot of volume coming in. And even I think 2 days ago, huge volume. So be paying attention to these things. The Bitcoin, Ethereum miners, crypto miners in general are looking pretty strong. All right, so then BITF is another one to be watching. Now, this one wasn't exactly a trampoline move, but what it did do is it gave us a Moxie price trigger. So that's another thing that we can scan for on the Thinkorswim version. We're going to be working on that with StockCharts. But what is nice about this is that those Moxie price triggers call attention to your eyes. What it's trying to do is say, hey, there's an arrow here. You should pay attention. And what you can see is that arrow basically just denotes when the Moxie indicator goes from negative to positive. So you can see it back here. There was another trampoline move back here. They got that move going. And again, I've been watching this for quite some time. We started seeing these names come alive, and we've been taking them and trading them. So Moxie price trigger tries to tell you that, hey, the Moxie indicator is telling you the momentum has now gone positive. You should be aware of this, and I'm going to be flashing some green lights. Come pay attention. So BITF was another good one. Mara, I'm sure a lot of you guys know about Mara. So this was a trampoline move. Check this out. So you can see price below the 50, price below the 50, Moxie indicator above 0. So what it's telling you is that this thing still wants to go higher. It's just, the energy is still positive. It's just that it's taking some time going sideways, and it happens to now be underneath the hourly 50 like that. What we could also see was price down like this. There was a bit of a pennant, and look, that's where it popped out. And then it even came back and tested some support right there. I mean, this is just an absolutely gorgeous chart and looking amazing. So Bitcoin miners are on fire. I hope you guys are taking advantage of this area, and keep putting some more fuel on there. So go out there and let's make this stuff go. So Mara was looking great. And then MSTR, MicroStrategies. I'm sure this is another one that a lot of you guys know about. Again, volume came in, they had earnings, whatever they did for earnings, fine. But basically this was an overbought move right in through here, and you can see it just did a nice little pullback flag. Basically, cup with handle. Look at that. Nice cup with handle on the daily chart. It would be amazing if we eventually saw that on the S&P. I'm still waiting for that handle, but market just keeps going up like that. But look at this. Perfect cup with handle, and now it's on its way. You can see big volume on that big move up. I'd say just jump on. Let's go for a ride with MSTR as well, if that's something that interests you in the crypto space. So then to get into another one, Riot. It's kind of one of the laggards, but I think that's because they've had a bunch of secondary offerings, but the setup is still there. Let me show you this. Trampoline move right there. Price below the 50, but the Moxie indicator above 0, trampoline move. And boom, we got a nice move on that. You can also see there was a trampoline move back here. There you go. Price below the 50, the Moxie indicator above 0. Boom, nice move. And even before that, you can see here is the Moxie price trigger trying to tell you, like, hey, momentum is coming in. I want to change directions, and I want to start moving long on this. And you can see even that, you can see price going down. Notice that the Moxie indicator was moving up. That is that positive divergence that the Moxie indicator is trying to tell you that internally, momentum and energy is starting to shift. It's starting to come up. You better pay attention if you want to get long on something like this. And the Moxie indicator helps you achieve that. All right, so we got those. And then what we can do is come over here and talk a little bit about GLD, gold in general. Let me kind of get back over here on the monthly and the weekly. So what I was seeing on the weekly time frame is one of the patterns that I talk about for subscribers and in the class and all that kind of stuff is an elf shoe. It's basically a double bottom. But notice in through here, you've got price like that. So what you can see is there's the leg, there's the heel, there's the arch of the foot, there's the ball of the foot, and then we want that nice toe that comes along with those elf shoes. So that's where we start making money, is on that thing. But the idea behind this is double bottom. So let's see if this is something that's starting to work out. Obviously, it's been having some resistance here at the weekly 50, and it just has to get past it. So I think that we started seeing this actually after the FOMC. I think people are trying to hedge and trying to figure out where they can get money based on inflation and all that kind of stuff. So they're trying to be defensive. If we look at this on the hourly chart, we've been noticing that the hourly 200 has been in a downtrend. Now notice that the hourly 200 is starting to turn up. That's good. And what we can see is price was underneath, going down underneath, and now it's starting to go up over it. So I'm noticing that price is starting to change directions. Now, gold, it's a little tough to see this. Silver and especially GDX is a little bit easier to see, so I'll be doing that next. And then the other thing to notice here on the daily chart is that we've got, again, there's that Moxie price trigger, right? It's trying to call to your attention that something's going on. Energy has now gone from negative to positive, and that could be the start of the trade or the trend. And you can see here that the 8 is over the 21, took a little dip, and now we're back up. So gold starting to look pretty good, I think. And if we come over here and then we go to silver, We'll go with the higher time frames too, just to kind of show you what we're looking at in through here. So silver, same thing with that elf shoe that I talk about. We're looking at this. We've got the leg, got the heel, we've got the arch of the foot, and that might be the ball of the foot right there. Very little small pullback in there. But basically, if price can kind of stay in this area and then start to move up, I think we'll be seeing some good stuff in silver. Precious metals in general, as I said, I think are starting to wake up. And if we come over here, we look at the daily and the hourly. I'll just kind of zoom out a little bit there for you. You can see that price has gone over the daily 50, and now it's coming back to test the daily 50. So I like what's happening here. You can see that things are starting to change directions. I mean, notice with silver, notice that price was in a downtrend going underneath the daily 50, going down and down and down and down, obviously in a downtrend. Now what's happened? Well, it is now over the daily 50. And notice that the daily 50 has gone from a downtrend to now flat to, hopefully, if this keeps working out, to moving up like that. So we should start seeing silver, gold, GDX, the miners, all that kind of stuff start to engage with and follow the moving average, the daily 50, to the upside. Also notice, just like gold, that the Moxie price trigger has fired. It's come a long way, and it is now positive. Energy and momentum is now positive. And this is happening just as it's pulling back into the daily 50 for support. This is a great situation. So I'd like to continue seeing this move forward, continue to prove itself. But otherwise, we're seeing some really good stuff in through here. As far as the hourly chart, you can see the hourly 200 has gone from a downtrend to now an uptrend. So good, we're starting to see some progress. Another thing to note as we zoom in on here, notice here's the Moxie price trigger on the hourly chart, trying to tell you like, hey, momentum has changed. I'm now positive. I want to go up there. And then also notice trampoline move, right? And that's what really kicked off this last move. So that was looking really, really, really good. Good move there. Natural pullback, been expecting this. And now we're looking for price to kind of hold through here, get up here, and then we want to see the Moxie indicator fire as well, again, on the hourly time frame. Then if we get into GDX, let's kind of go over here, GDX, and we can see, well, let me show you this first example. So you can see this price down, there's the leg, the heel, the arch of the foot, ball of the foot, and then there's your elf toe. And so here on the weekly, I'm looking at this, there's the leg, there's the heel, there's the arch of the foot, there's the ball of the foot, and let's see if we start getting the elf toe, because it's the elf toe that we start getting paid. All right, then we come over here, and same kind of deal that we've been looking. I mean, this is really, really super clean. You can see that price got over the daily 50, and then it came back down to test the daily 50. And in fact, there is a trampoline move on the daily chart right there on GDX. Really, really nice. So I've been watching this. We've started getting in. Looks pretty good to me. And on the hourly chart, you can see that the hourly 200 has gone from a downtrend to an uptrend, and then price has bounced off of it. So we should continue to see that act as support. And eventually, I want to see price get back on top of the hourly 50 and then turn the hourly 50 to the upside. So looking pretty good in through here. We just need to be patient and let the stock do the work for us. All right. Then a couple other things. Let me show you Home Depot, because I want to show you, again, how the Moxie indicator works, what you need to be paying attention to, and just how good it can be as far as timing goes. So here is the Moxie price trigger. You can see that is when the indicator went from negative to positive, and it's trying to call attention to you. It's trying to say, hey, energy has now become positive. You should be aware of this. And that's what the Moxie price trigger is doing. Look at that. Look how nicely we got price over the hourly 50. Then you can see the hourly 50 started moving up. Price went sideways. You got your Moxie price trigger, and then boom, off to the races. Home Depot, fantastic. And even through here, you can see that price was holding the daily 50 in through there. And then right when this thing took off, look at that, another Moxie price trigger on the daily chart. So Home Depot obviously having a great time along with that Lowe's. I will say, yes, it's a little overbought, but that's fine. Just let it kind of calm down a little bit, and we'll see if it can keep moving at some other point. I'm actually just now noticing this, but look, we've got another possible trampoline move right here on the hourly chart. So that might be looking pretty good. And if you come over here, let's go look at Lowe's. Basically the same thing. They travel in packs and they bring their friends. And so what we can see here is, notice we got price up over the hourly 50, came back in to test the hourly 50. You got the Moxie price trigger right there. So that's when the indicator went positive, and boom, this thing just taking off. This one actually looks almost like it's stronger because it just bounced off the hourly 50. Notice that the Moxie indicator, even though it's red, it's going down a bit, it's still above zero. So what that's telling you is that the move isn't over. It still wanted to go up. The hourly 50 was strong on lows. On a Home Depot, we got a trampoline move. On lows, it just bounced right off the hourly 50, and the Moxie indicator is still above zero. So yeah, we got some really strong moves out there in these things. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it and see what's going on. All right, well, thanks guys for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed that session. So there are a lot of things happening out there in the market. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage of them. I wanted to show you again that there are plenty of ways to catch long trades using the Moxie indicator because of either the trampoline setup or because of the Moxie price triggers. So they help call attention to your eye, let you know that something is here that you should be paying attention to. And if you guys want some help and some guidance, come over to profitpilot.com. You can sign up for the alert service, which is where I trade and send out alerts. You can buy the class and learn how to trade using the Moxie indicator for yourself. But either way, come over here, profitpilot.com, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.